be talking to you about the legal, ethical, and social considerations of the implementation of AI and technology in medicine. The development and implementation of AI in medicine is creating benefits and opportunities for healthcare providers and consumers. AI is currently being used in diagnostics, e-health, and evidence-based medicines. As a result, legal, regulatory, social, and ethical issues have arisen. I will start by defining a key concept in AI medicine, and this is AI black boxes. These are very similar to those of airplanes because they involve operations and inputs that aren't visible to the user or any interested party. As a result, black box AI models arrive at medical conclusions or decisions without providing an explanation to their patients as to how they were reached. This is contentious as they lack transparency, and although sometimes their medical decisions are accurate without explanations, they can be confusing and deceiving and thus unfavourable to utilising a proper human doctor who will provide the patient with detailed explanation for diagnosis and prognosis. Legal issues. Due to the many problems, opacity, and biases associated with AI in medicine, the governance, regulation, and strict implementation of law is a necessity in preventing AI disasters. In Australia, confidentiality and privacy for AI in medicine are governed by the Privacy Act 1988. The liability of the AI technological products used are relevant to consumers' guarantees under Australian consumer law and are governed by the Therapeutic Goods Act 1989. To ensure Australian laws are as effective as they can be, the accuracy of the legislation is paramount. AI is an evolving technology. Therefore, problems will continue to arise and we must ensure the laws keep up with the pace. AI should be constantly monitored to ensure that issues such as inherent bias and mistakes are addressed specifically in legislation. Further, these laws should be easily accessible in layman's terms, and there should be a strong emphasis on educating the people about the laws which govern AI in medicine. This is imperative for decision making, and the individual should also be informed of their legal rights when deciding to use AI in medicine, which I believe should be a choice given by consent. In Kennison v. Dare, the High Court held that machines cannot give consent because they're not human, and this principle should apply to AI in medicine. This is in contrast to our class text, Never Let Me Go, which terminates the authority and capability of humans to consent by donating their organs, which is implied, and leads me to the next very important issue, ethical issues of AI in medicine. Ethical issues. There are many ethical issues considered under the Therapeutic Act 1989, and even though Australia is not a member of the EU, this Act is more aligned with EU than it is with the US. Ethical principles considered include human dignity, autonomy, responsibility, justice, equity, solidarity, democracy, the rule of law, security, safety, data protection, privacy, and sustainability. AI systems must not interfere with the right to privacy of personal information and other rights, such as the right to live free from surveillance. Further, algorithmic biases in AI medicine need to be monitored and alleviated accordingly. This could be done by including diverse stakeholders with a stake in AI medicine, whilst ensuring that the world's geopolitical landscape is also included. To establish AI that benefits everyone, it must gather data from all geographic locations and walks of life. This would prevent things we learnt in class, like a mere 1% inclusion of Africans who have the most diverse genomes on the planet in a several hundred genome investigation, LGBT as being categorised as negative, and misinterpreting the Arabic words good morning for hurt them in English or attack them in Hebrew. Bias could also be addressed by implementing a final human-centric check, which would ensure that the medical decisions are in the best interests of the patient. This could only be done if it was a requirement for doctors to explain the decisions of AI clearly to the patient, which leads me to a topic I discussed earlier, the black box assisted medical decisions. These decisions lack transparency, and this needs to immediately be addressed. Either we have second human opinions to explain the diagnosis and prognosis, or we advance our AI systems to do this. This would increase the accuracy and relevance of AI in medicine. A study with AI determining the prognosis of 36 clinical vignettes, for example, was accurate 72% of the time. This could be increased if we implemented the strategies I've just outlined. Which leads me lastly to the social issues. Socially, AI in medicine should be easily accessible and affordable for every individual who decides to consent to using AI. Accurate information pertaining to medical AI should also be easily accessible and comprehensible in layman terms. To effectively implement AI in medicine, we must educate the patients who are thinking about using AI, whilst ensuring they understand their right to consent. And we must educate the doctors and the lawmakers of Australia to ensure they consider things like bias and critical errors in medical AI. AI education should also be implemented in medical school. In conclusion, I wanted to make it clear that if I had to choose between a robot and a human, I would always choose the human. I find things like the Sophia robot an insult to people's real-life experiences and emotions. However, quantitatively, medical AI can be very effective because it can scan through medical data, statistics, and humans in large quantities at an exponential rate. Qualitatively, it is failing because there are errors, inherent bias, and wrong diagnoses and prognoses being made by a robotic black box which provides little to no information about how these decisions were reached to begin with. Consequently, the decision I have reached is that it would be preferable to have human-centric final checks and balances on any decision that's made, and education is key to eradicating most of the issues that are associated with medical AI. Thank you.